Yeah. Hi, Kanisa.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm doing really well. First of all, thank you very much for coming on and to
You're
share your
welcome.
story. I think it's
Thank
something
you.
that's really important, and I like to talk about health and well-being, and sometimes that includes talking about the bad situations, especially when they lead to a good situation. So, could you tell me a little bit about your story and how you've made that something special for you?
Okay, so as we all know, we had lockdown. A lot of things was happening in lockdown, as in personal. Family was sick, admitted into hospital. Wasn't able to work because of not the nature that I do. I do massage, so I wasn't able to go to people's houses or even go to where I worked in Edgbaston. And things was going on, and I found a lump in my neck. Just here. Um, I noticed it, but then I thought, because obviously what I do, lymph nodes, you can get inflamed, so I didn't think anything of it. But then I noticed it was growing, um, and I thought, okay, then check it out. So I phoned my GP. Now at the time, because of lockdown, you wasn't able to go in, so she just spoke to me on the phone, asked me all the symptoms and all the stuff, and then says, "Oh, it's nothing, just you'll be fine." Basically fobbed me off. So I thought, okay. So as time goes on, my mom and my sister noticed it and said, have you sorted that out? And I said, I did, but they told me it was nothing. They goes, no, phone again and go and see someone. So I thought, okay. So I phoned again and I was able to get an appointment and went in. The lady checked me all over, literally from top to toe, did a blood test there and then. Um, she was saying, I'm going to refer you to a cancer unit. So I was like, refer me to a cancer unit. It's not that deep. Like, it's just a lump. And she goes, oh no, it could be nothing, but I'm just gonna just refer you. I said, okay. So she said, if your blood test comes back with something, then obviously there's something. So I said, okay. So she phoned me back the next day and I thought, oh, that was quick. And she goes, oh, it's negative, there's nothing. However, I'm still transferring you to the cancer unit. I said, but you said if something came back, there's nothing. So
Mm.
obviously, thank the Lord to her. She referred me to the hospital, spoke to a consultant. He again was asking me loads of questions and says, we're going to do a biopsy. I says, okay, fine. So when I did a biopsy, they did it. I was awake, put the needles and everything in. Then I didn't hear anything for about a week. Then they called me back and said, you need to come back again because we didn't do it properly. I mean, are you serious? So I said, okay, then went back in with a bigger needle.
Mm.
Um, and then they did it again, and I didn't hear anything for 3 weeks. So I thought, no news is good news, so I'm good. So then I got a letter for the post saying I need to come in. So I phoned them up straight away, and it says, just tell me on the phone. Like I'm a busy girl, I haven't got time to come in like this. Like just tell me. They goes, no, you have to come in. And I said, well, what is it? Because we can't say anything. You have to come in. I still, maybe naive, I don't know, in denial. I didn't still said it was a C.
Mhm.
Um, so my sister says, can I come with you? And I said, yeah, fine. Because to me, it was nothing. And I remember like it was yesterday, I had a red wrap on, I was all in red because it was September, but it was still a bit nice. And I was bright. And prior to that, my date was the 8th of September that I had to go in. And 5 days before that, one of my good friends passed away. So I was in mixed feelings. My emotions was high. So I was like, you know what? Whatever they're gonna tell me, I'm not gonna go in there doom and gloom. It's gonna be a positive. That's what I was telling myself. So my sister waited in the lobby, and this guy came and escorted me to the room. As soon as he opened the room, I didn't know at the time, but I know obviously knew after that. It was a Macmillan nurse, two other doctors plus my consultant. So I was like, this ain't good in my head. I'm thinking, why there's so many? So sat down. I'll be honest, my consultant wasn't horrible. He wasn't empathy at all in any way. He just said, you know what, you're here. I said, well, here to get my results. You got lymphoma. okay, what's lymphoma? He goes, cancer. He just says those words, all sorts of thoughts going through my head. I thought, what I'm going to tell my daughter, how long I got left to live, how my family, my business, everything's going through my head. I started just crying, like literally. He's then talking about chemo, radiotherapy, everything else you could think of. And I'm just like, this ain't happening. I was thinking, this is definitely a nightmare. And then the Macmillan nurse says, do you want 5 minutes? And I said, yes, please. So she took me out the room and I said to my sisters here. So she took us into a private room and started, she apologized for how the consultant told me. And she started telling me what's going to take place. And there's different types of lymphoma. Um, it can be cured, like don't think the worst and going on and going on. And I said, this is not happening. This is not happening to me. Um, so September that happened, the 8th. And then I had if I be honest, since they started, they haven't left my side, like they've been consistent. So I had a biopsy prior to that to get the no results. Then I had to have a operation on my neck. Not to get rid of it, but to take out to find out what kind of lymphoma is it. Because I've got lymphoma, non-Hodgkin. So there's different types. So they wanted to know what stage I was at. So they took it out, did the operation. That was in October. And then they said, you're gonna have a PET scan. It's like an MRI where you go through this machine very slowly just to find out if there's anywhere else on my body. So I had another appointment with my consultant, another consultant, and had a new one. And he says you've got stage 3, and it's in 2 parts of your body, your neck and your groin. So you can't do the radiotherapy because if you do the radiotherapy, we can't do radiotherapy if it's in more than one area. So you only can have chemo. So I was just like, I said, so he's telling me about chemo, like the effects it can have and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is deep. So I'll be honest, my eating wasn't the best. So they weren't telling me to change anything, to be fair. They didn't say stop doing this, stop doing that. I just took it upon myself to do certain things. So obviously I told all my family, like the girl, we got loads of girl cousins, so told all of them what was happening. And then everyone goes, detox, we need to detox. So I detoxed 4 weeks prior before my chemo. And I think that helped a lot with how I was feeling through my chemo. So take out me, I started drinking alcohol, literally just having vegan food, exercising, was going hiking. So I was doing everything the opposite than what I was doing before I had cancer. So I was doing all that, and then they were still like delaying. So I said to them, my daughter goes to senior school in September. You said the process takes 6 months. So I don't want to be having chemo when she's in school. So I want to make sure I start before. So I worked it out. If I started in April, I'll be finished by August. So my consultant goes, oh, because you've planned it all out. I says, I weren't in control of me getting cancer, but I'm in control of it leaving my body. So I want to make sure that in the process that this is how I want it to happen. I don't want to be because before that he was saying we have to watch and wait, and that's kind of common with people who has cancer. And when I mean watch and wait it to go aggressive. And I was like, I'm low lymphoma cancer. You said it can go high very quickly. So why are we waiting for it to go to that extreme for me to have the chemo? And he goes, oh, you're young and you might want more children and da 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 because it affects your fertility and going on and going on. And I said, I understand all that. I says, but I want it out my body, and it's not going to come out my body if we don't do anything the way we're supposed to do it. With obviously me doing detox. So by the time I got home, I got an email said your date's set. You're having it in April. So I started in April, and it was every 3 weeks on a Monday. So it was always the same day. On a Monday, I had to go to Kiwi Hospital and basically get string up by all these things and pumped all the medication through my body to get rid of the cancer. and that was every 3 weeks for 6 months, and I finished it on the 8th of August. Then after that whole process, I had to go in September, and then to be told if I'm in remission or not. Thank God I was in remission. So when September came, it was, I'm not gonna lie, emotional in all different ways. Like I said, I lost a good friend. Plus, I got diagnosed in September. And then also lymphoma is the awareness month as well. So September is very busy. And I just thought, I was talking to my sister and she's like, well, try and make it a positive, like try and do something good. And I thought, well, I've always wanted to do a dinner and dance, but didn't have any really reason to do it. So I thought, why not create awareness for lymphoma, um, to help people who's unfortunately has passed away from it, but the ones who are surviving and also ones who are living with it. Um, because there's 4 stages in cancer. So obviously stage 1 to stage 4. Not everyone who's stage 4 passes away, but stage 4 has it really intense because it's like literally the whole body that affects it. So it's a lot of things that they go through. I was very lucky, and I say lucky because I'm still here today to tell my story and to help others. That I had stage 3, and I didn't go to stage 4. So I just have to make sure that for people who are living with it, people who lost loved ones from it, that there is still light at the end of the tunnel, and that if we can create a space, a safe space for people to don't feel they're alone, because we had a lymphoma action group on Facebook, and it helped me because any stupid question that I might say to someone, and I think, they might look at me like I'm crazy, but if I said it in that group, no one was looking at you differently. Like they was thinking, because I was thinking the same thing, and you always got your question answered. And I thought that was a good, nice way to have a nice space. Me being also a single mom, um, didn't help as well. Don't get me wrong, I have the amazing village, I had the best support, but when I got told I had cancer, the first thing I was thinking, my daughter's not going to have a mother anymore, and I had to process that, and it wasn't a good me. The way that I processed it was thinking all sorts. So I didn't want any other single mom to go through that, knowing that you think you're alone, when there's other people out there going through the same thing. But yeah, to me, it was just an eye opener, on cancer in general, because lymphoma is the 5th most popular cancer in the world, and it doesn't get talked about. Because me being a massage therapist, knowing about the lymphatic system, I never knew about lymphoma. So when I heard about it and then knowing how it's connected and what causes it, I'm thinking, I did not see this. So not only because of my profession, but wanted to bring awareness to people that you're not alone, that you can fight this, and we can get more researchers out there to make sure that people are noticing the symptoms. I had none of the symptoms. All I had was a lump. But the symptoms are fatigue, high fever, itchiness on your skin, was it everything above, losing weight. I didn't have any of those. So, and then because we was in COVID and a lot of the symptoms are very similar, you think you had maybe COVID, and then maybe would have write you off as COVID. And for me, the reason why I'm more advocate for lymphoma is to let people know, when you go to your doctors and they say, oh, it's nothing, do not allow them to fob you off. Go back again. Because if I never went back when I did, I maybe wouldn't be here today. So it's your body. You've got to make sure that you fight. You know your body more than anybody else. So don't just say, oh, you know what? Oh, the doctor said I'm okay. No, you go and get a second opinion, third opinion if you have to, until you get the results you need to get. I never had, like I said, the cancer in my head. I didn't think I had that. I just thought there was something wrong, but not to that level. So just make sure you look after yourself. And because technically we are our own doctors, because we know our body, but we've also, unfortunately, we have to go to a doctor to get diagnosed, to get anything done. So yeah.
What an amazing journey that you went through, and I think you are very right. We know our bodies, and it's important that if something doesn't feel right, that you address that, you look into that. I love the fact that you made um, changes to your lifestyle as well. And I think definitely the lifestyles that we're living, if it's alcohol, meat, fish, dairy, these can have a lot of strain on our body. And sometimes we have signs and symptoms. It's our body saying, you've gone too far. You strayed too far away from nature. You need to come back. So I like the fact that you not only looked at it in the pharmaceutical model, medical model, you also looked at it in natural model. I think that's really important as well. I think it's amazing that you've found those resources and that you've seen where the gaps were for you, and you've identified, I want to make it different for other people behind you. And it's a very generous thing to do. And yes, community, sense of community, you're blessed to have had that. And but as you said, there are people that don't feel that sense of community. So to have that information, to know where there's resources is valuable, you know, just to be able to talk about it. And I noticed that at the beginning you use the C word, you know what I mean? And a lot of people do that. Like there's a fear around it because there's that massive big correlation and association with people dying. So the people are very fearful of it, when really, as you said, there's lots of different stages. The stages you go through is about capturing it early. And the only way that you can capture things early is if you can identify them. And the only way you can identify them is about talking about it, you know, and not thinking, oh, well, if I just ignore it, it'll go away. It's about having those discussions and understanding what the signs and symptoms are, looking at your lifestyle and seeking help, you know. So it just sounds like it's an important it's important for everybody. The cancer rates have increased over time, even in our lifetime. Now it's like 50% increase that somebody might have it. And when I was younger, I remember it was definitely maybe very rare, maybe somebody elderly. And now young children, babies, anybody, it's not, you know, it's open to everybody. And I suppose that's a big factor also to the chemicals in the environment, the chemicals in our home, our skincare products, our hair products, our cleaning products, the directly into the food, the processed food. There's so many factors where our body is fighting and overgrowing. Do you know what I mean? And reacting badly, which is where we can see that cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, our bodies are crying out for help. You know, so definitely. I'm just wondering, have you continued your health journey with regarding your diet and exercise? And
the exercise, the food. Obviously, I don't like eat red meat. Like I usually cook it all the time, like oxtail and mutton every Sunday, but I don't do that. But definitely I don't drink no alcohol. I haven't about 2.5 years now. And that's really good for me. So I don't like when I go out, people are like, you really not having it? No. And I don't, to be honest, I don't miss it. And to me, it's more, if you've got to eliminate things to have a better life, then you got to have that rational decision, just do it, because if you're not here, you're not hearing it. And if it's because of certain things that you can eliminate, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And just to know where to go and to find things, obviously, like magnesium is very much in my household. And obviously I use it in work because I know it does make a difference. And I think a lot of people need to kind of re-educate themselves when it comes to food, and also what things that you need to do to make sure you have a better lifestyle.
Definitely, definitely. I think there is a big gap in minerals, generally in minerals, in our food quality and in the environment. It's not in the soil anymore. And our body needs those minerals. And the leafy greens full of minerals, the fruit, the vegetables, eating things in its raw state, having as much organic as you can, growing things if you can, so that you have the fuel, the quality fuel to put in your body. That's what you're made of, those stuff. Do you know what I mean? Your body's using those stuff. So the better quality you can get, the better quality of lifestyle. And I think 100% there is a factor of trying to have a preventative element to life. You know, so we know that excess processed, hyper processed food, which takes up about 83% of the supermarkets, is bad for our bodies. We know this.
Mm.
So we can start introducing some of the healthy things. Sometimes it can be quite painful to take things away. It's like people start, I'm going on a diet, and it's like, okay, as soon as you've said that, your body says, go and get the cake or something. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I always
Mm.
say, instead of trying to eliminate things and having that kind of mindset, it's about introducing things. Do you know what I mean? And as you introduce those positive things, those bad things can go away. So if you are
Mm.
somebody that likes sweets, maybe consider having dehydrated fruit. Do you know what I mean? Or to have, to have instead of having sugar, then to have like date syrup, or to sweeten with apple juice. There's all the things that you can do, or even if you have honey, then you use honey. But there are things that you can introduce that can replace your normal patterns, that can be less stressful on your body. And of course, fasting is something that is definitely
Yeah.
overlooked, because our body uses so much energy processing our foods. It takes away from healing. And when you're fasting, it means your body can heal. And one thing that it does when healing is to get rid of bad cells, and so that's a good factor. So it is about, having that information. It's about making those changes, and even stronger, to make those changes for our children, so that they
Oh
so
God,
they're not learning those bad habits that we're having.
yeah.
And it's, in England, we've got this massive big association of fun and alcohol, and not realizing that you can have fun without being
Oh yeah,
tipsy
definitely.
and stuff. Um, I'm normally like the driver, so when I was younger, I was mainly the driver. So, and I never drink and drive, never at all, not even not even the limit. So you can see how people behave when they're intoxicated. You can see how people behave with the levels of
Yeah.
alcohol they're drinking, and it can become that addictive way, and the personality change, and just be social habits as well. And you're right, it's about changing some of those habits and maybe having fun without it. And you said after a while you realize that you don't need it. We're putting things in our lives that we don't actually need. So it is about eliminating those things and replacing it with positive things. So it's amazing that you've made those life changes, and it's amazing that I think it's really powerful when you share your story. I think it's powerful when you help other people on their journey as well, by having the dinner and dance events, which I know that you're having another one soon, aren't you?
Yeah, September the 14th. Because it's the awareness of lymphoma. Actually on the 15th. I'm having it on the 14th at the Hate Suite. So dinner and dance and book launch, because I'm also writing my book about my journey.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So if somebody wanted to get tickets, find out more, what do they have to do?
You can contact me directly. So you can contact me on 07731 839 283. And I can tickets are going to be out April. Got early bird tickets, and then obviously afterwards it'll be normal price.
Okay, okay. So that's in Birmingham, but
Yes,
everybody's welcome, first come, first serve
yes,
kind of
definitely,
thing.
yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And so tell me a bit about your book. Is it just your story? Is it other people's story? What?
No, no. It's a kind of like it's my book, but it's gonna be like a
Mm,
journal as well. So kind of what helped me through my journey. So I'll tell my story, and then obviously most of it will be a journal of what you can do, where you can go and get help. Like when I got diagnosed, I went to Leah Salmon
mm,
to get a blood analysis done. I meant to go to it ages ago, but obviously this was the right time to do it. And it was good because when I was asking the doctors why have I got the cancer, it's not hereditary, they couldn't, they didn't know, like they're still trying to figure it out themselves. But
yeah.
when I went to Leah, she broke it down, like I had a lot of parasites. So basically, when I seen the cells, it was nice seeing it as well for myself to see, okay, this is what the hospital sees, and so I
Mm,
know how to combat it. So it was nice to have that done, and I think everybody should get it done, from children all the way to elderly should get their blood analysis done for themselves.
mm,
So yeah, so the book is just basically just a help book of what to look for, where to go to. I also got a Instagram page called Cancer Betty. And it's not to anyone's name Betty. I'm not taking a mock at your name. You just when I hear Betty, it makes me laugh, it makes me smile. So I didn't want to put a damper on it, so I call it Cancer Betty. So I'm on Instagram, so anything that's to do with my journey or anything that I see that helps, I put it on that page.
So it's a resource. So it's like your book and the Facebook group is like a resource that people
Yeah,
understand your journey, but also you're giving out signposting them to resources which can help them on their journey.
exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Mhm.
so thank you so much. You know, it's
Yeah.
been informative, and I love the fact that you have that positive energy. And I do believe that having that positive outlook is a strength. Do you know what I mean? And something
Mhm.
that can help to heal, because I think we are frequency. I do believe in that kind of frequency, and having that positive frequency and positive people around you, I think also
Mhm.
helps you in the healing process. So thank you
Yes.
very much for that. And I said, Leah,
Thank you.
no, I know her very well, and I've done different events with her as well. And I think
Mhm.
you're right. It is about us learning about our bodies
Mhm.
and having the blood test, seeing the cells, understanding that we are cells, and if we give our cells what it needs, then
Yeah.
your body will do what it's designed to do, which is to heal. You know what I mean? And to
Exactly.
thrive, not to survive, but to thrive. But it's
Right.
about
Yeah.
looking at what that is, and a big key to that is our minerals. Do you know what I mean? Looking at also, you know, our copper, our iron. Do you know, looking through at the algae, and of course the magnesium, because that helps to detox and to
Mhm.
relax. So it's about looking, what does your cells need to survive? Give your
Mhm.
cells that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Then, you know, we can move forward, not only
Mhm.
in prevention but also in recovery and future
Mhm.
goals. So thank you so much for sharing, and I wish you all the best for the event. And I know I see you all the time, so I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that you're in the remission. I'm so pleased that you're on the healing journey, and you look amazing. And so that's always a
Thank
good
you.
start. That's always a good
Okay.
start. Okay, you take care, and I'll speak to you
And
soon.
you. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. I believe one day, I believe in the future. I believe in the past. I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need